Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about Rahu in Krittika, 5th October to 13th of June. I'm a little late in posting, but I think it's important that I do post it. Krittika Nakshatra is a fire nakshatra, and the Rahu's element is air. So this can exaggerate the impact of Krittika. In Krittika, Rahu will cause 3 eclipses. He's going to create certain unsettled energy as well. So, what is that? Let us explore. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and we are talking Rahu in Krittika. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification, and as we go into Rahu in Krittika, we are exploring a couple of things of Rahu in Krittika. Now, Rahu went into Krittika on 5th of October and will be there till 13th of June. I do apologize for the delay in the recording. I had 2 problems. I'd gone to India and I thought I'll come back and I'll be able to record easily, but I had a real crazy jet lag and it just got delayed. And then I did the whole recording. And when I was editing it, I found that it was all corrupted and the sound was not clear. So I am doing this, the take 2, second recording of Rahu. So therefore, it got even more delayed. So my apologies for it. But you know what Rahu is, we have to accept sometimes some delays and complicated energies. So the main thing about Rahu in Krittika is that it is going to be there from 5th of October to 13th of June. This is the mean node position of Rahu. There are 2 calculations of Rahu, mean node and true node. I do the mean node, and you can see my Rahu Ketu videos and watch them after you watch this video to see how the difference between mean and true node is. And so from this transit, Krittika is in 2 signs. So Rahu will be in Taurus Krittika up to 12th of April and 12th of April to 13th of June. For 2 months, it will be in Aries Krittika. So Rahu in Krittika can be volatile. Firstly, Rahu is exalted in Taurus, so he's very happy in Taurus. In Krittika, he's even happier because he's dominating his arch enemy, the sun. Krittika Nakshatra is ruled by the sun. The Devata is Agni, so it's a very fiery energy. And Rahu being exalted, he comes into the sign. So he is the dominating factor. Now, therefore, sometimes you will see during this Rahu and Krittika a lot of anger, protest against those in power, whether they are presidents, prime ministers, but this could also be people like CEOs or presidents in companies and your bosses, those aspects. So I would suggest to all of you that Rahu needs to be managed. Wherever he is, Rahu throws up a couple of dilemmas. One is that he will make you feel very dissatisfied. Secondly, he's a disruptor in chief, so he can disrupt situations. And we need to be careful what disruptions he's creating and always try not to disrupt our own lives too much. So therefore, I'm not saying controlling Rahu, but managing it. Managing your expectations. If you're feeling very dissatisfied, balance it with what is satisfying you. What are the things that are helping you to deal with the situation? And Rahu will be going over Taurus Krittika which is more sober for it when he goes into Aries Krittika for 2 months, and especially April. April is a very changeable, April 2022, very changeable time. And when Rahu is there, alongside with Saturn changing sign, Jupiter changing sign, eclipse taking place, April 22 is a red flag month. So do put it in your diary. I'll be talking more about it. But what Rahu will do then when he goes into Aries, he's very impulsive. Aries is a fire sign. Nakshatra is fire. The Pada, Sagittarius, is fire. So he can build up the fire too much. And then we have to calm it down. So why wait till then we are calming Rahu down? Always Rahu is represented like a snake energy, and snakes are always, you put them in a box, they go to sleep or they live underground. But if we wake them up, they can be poisonous, they can be negative. So that is something to watch out for. There are 2 eclipses in Krittika. There will be a lunar eclipse in November 2021 and a solar eclipse in April 2022. The lunar eclipse that is going to happen now, 19th of November, it is in Taurus, and it's in Taurus Krittika. And again, with the eclipses, we can feel very emotional, very stressed out. Sometimes anger issues can come. We have to stay calm. And one day before the eclipse, during the eclipse, and then you move on to the next day, you will be fine. Often, there's some unexpected news that comes during lunar eclipses on the same day. I'll be making a separate video for it. And then the solar eclipse is on 30th of April. This is the first of the solar eclipses in Aries, but it is the only one in Krittika Nakshatra. This is a partial eclipse. However, these eclipses are disruptive energies. So just to watch for that. Rahu, Sun, all in Aries. And again, with the solar eclipse, the impact is longer. And April 2022, very unsettled month. So this is an added complication for April 2022. So I'll talk more about these eclipses later on in their separate segments. Then as Rahu moves into Krittika, it changes the Manasa Nakshatra. Manasa Nakshatra is the nakshatra which affects the mind. So Punar Vasu Nakshatra was experiencing Manasa Nakshatra as long as Rahu was in Rohini. Now Rahu goes into Krittika, and the Manasa will be for Gemini Ardhara. Ardhara is, experiencing this Rahu energy. Manasa is the nakshatra for the mind. And when Rahu is transiting there, the eclipses are there, the mind gets very unsettled. And it is important, especially for Ardhara moons or Ardhara even Lagnas, to be careful around that time. During this 9-month time when Rahu is in your Manasa Nakshatra, but also during the eclipses, because that is when the major energy is there and you need to watch out for that. So the mind feels unsettled. So doing some yoga, meditation, keeping yourself calm and not unnecessarily worrying about things would be a good thing to do for Manasa Nakshatra. Only studying from your Moon Nakshatra. So how does it affect you? So first thing to remember is that as Rahu moves out of Rohini, it is moving away from the Moon Nakshatra. So Saturn is in Shravana, and I'd made a video about how Shravana was dominating 2021, and Rahu's moving away into Sun Nakshatra. Means that grip is broken of the malefic energy. But still there we have now Rahu in Krittika. So the Moon Nakshatras are losing Rahu's quality and feeling a bit relieved, whereas the Sun Nakshatras now. So Krittika becomes your Janma Nakshatra. So Rahu being there, eclipses being there. If your moon is in Krittika, then this is the most intense transit for you. Eclipses in Krittika, that means you're going through some change. It is important not to resist it, but to think of the change and not to make the changes unless they happen until you go into the end of this transit. But usually, you're thinking everything changes, and the other sun nakshatras that are Uttara Phalguni and Uttara Ashada, they will also, but not to as large an extent as Krittika, will feel the need of change and transformation. And especially Uttara Ashada can also have opportunities professionally during this time. Then the Venus nakshatras, Bharani, Purva Phalguni, and Purva Ashada. This is a positive wealth-giving transit. Opportunities, wealth, general good luck. Rahu is making a good transit for you. Nothing to worry. Just still you will watch out for the eclipses, as all of us will watch out for. Then Ketu nakshatras, Ashwini, Magha, and Mula. This is a obstacle transit for you. There can be obstacles, difficulties, not always easy, and we have to react to situations. Sometimes, we are more than able to deal with the obstacles, and so not to take it as a totally negative thing, but to think if obstacles come, I'm going to see how to deal with them, not get anxious or worried about it. Mercury nakshatras, that is Ashlesha, Jyestha, and Revati. This is a positive transit for you. Opportunities, good luck. Rahu will energize all that for you. Saturn nakshatras, Pushya, Anuradha, and Uttara Bhadra. This is not an easy transit for you. There can be sudden roadblocks in your way. Something Rahu can be disruptive for you. So you have to be careful. Also for Anuradha specifically, Ketu is also transiting in Anuradha. So you are getting like Rahu in a difficult position and Ketu in Anuradha. So you are feeling that obstacle energy for you. Jupiter nakshatras, Punar, Vasu, Vishakha, and Purva Bhadra. This is a good transit for you. What I would advise you to do is that think about having some projects to do, and focus on certain areas, and also think about some spiritual disciplines that you can do, because this will help you to really get the most out of this positive transit. Rahu nakshatras, this is not the easiest transit for you. Ardhara, Swati, and Shatabhishak. Especially Ardhara, already spoke about it. This is a Manasa nakshatra transit for you. I will make a link here for Manasa nakshatra. You watch the video I already made for it. But Ardhara the mind will be very unsettled. So you have to try to calm yourself down. Sometimes doing some travel, doing some things, keeping yourself occupied is a good thing. But the others also, the other Rahu Nakshatra, Swati and Shatabhishak, not the easiest energy. Also Shatabhishak, you are going to be coming into Sade Sati. So you have to have a second the thing that you're thinking about as well. So keep yourself calm. Don't disrupt energy for yourself or disrupt your life for yourself. Then Mars nakshatras, it's a good transit for Mars nakshatras, Mrigasira, Chitra and Dhanishta. However, Dhanishta is going to get from January the intense part of Sade Sati. So 2022 is the year for Saturn in Dhanishta. So we are being careful, but even though Rahu is not disturbing, that is good. So that is one positive aspect for you. And finally, the Moon Nakshatras. Moon Nakshatra is Rohini, Hasta, and Shravana. Rahu has just left Rohini, so Rahu is actually, it's a relief for you, but the others also, there's going to be relief. Firstly, Shravana, Saturn will move away from Shravana in January 2022, and the Hasta also. So this is relief. It's a very positive Rahu transit. Rahu is not bothering you at all. So that is it. I'm sorry again about the delay. And I'm glad that finally I have recorded. I hope it gets all okay. And all the best. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification.